morning! It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, hopefully he wasn't dry humping other people. Dale Hellestrae's here, everybody. Well, I'll get you some context on that coming up.
Yeah, you need to give the audience.
No, I'm just going to let it hang for a little bit.
Yeah.
Dale, how you doing today?
Well, I was doing better before I walked in here. the grumpiness of the McCollum boys.
What are you talking about?
The nastiness of Steve McCollum.
Well, yes, that's expected. But what are you doing? What do you mean the McCollum boys?
Well, I never know what I'm walking into here. It could be yelling and screaming. It could be hunky-dory, somewhere in between.
None of that happens, but okay. None of that happens. One day, when I screwed up stuff, Ethan was admonishing me one day. One day. Dale's just jealous. Dale's just jealous. How you doing today, man?
Well, I can't complain. It's a Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, you're on vacation the rest of the week.
Going
to be hanging out with Hall of Famers. And
it will be fascinating to see who shows up to this. It's just John and Gina and Brooke and I.
And like a bunch of special teamers.
Well, we're slapdicks too, so.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not. I'm not knocking them.
Well, I just wonder if there'd be 50 guys there. They're going to be 10.
Yeah. No, enjoy it either way. It's all that matters.
You never know.
It'll be a good time. Enjoy it either way.
Like at least our SMU reunion, I texted 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah.
So I knew them and their wives would be there. And then obviously ran into a bunch more. So anyway, we'll see. Should be a fun weekend.
I'm gonna laugh at it pants through, and it's just Dale and Brooke sitting there.
Well, at least we have John.
And the Raiders balloon, they'll even ditch you. Then the balloon, because he'll be hanging out with me in the casino.
Yeah.
John and his wife. But then there'll be like silver and black balloons everywhere and white balloons everywhere, and then just Dale. And the disco balls just spinning.
Drinks, food. Yoo-hoo!
I'm sure there'll be some. I'm not going to say interactions, but the team will be around, right? I'm sure they'll get them parade through to meet you guys, or vice versa. Ashton Gentry and his sprained ankle, not his ACL, his sprained ankle.
Yeah, we'll invite him up to the suite to watch the game with us.
My point is go meet Mendoza, because I think that kid's if he stays healthy and doesn't get beat up, that kid's going to be special.
He has a chance to be really, really good.
Yeah, the way he throws a football, I like it a lot. Bruce Cooper joins us today as well. Of course, the Ketel Marte situation is just never going to die. I saw Tori's comments yesterday, and I just ignored him. I just flat out ignored him yesterday. I was like, I'm done with this bull crap. I'm done with this soft landing crap. Oh, I can't force a man to do something. You're paying him $16 million a year. You also don't need to coddle the guy. And I just got infuriated hearing the comments yesterday. We'll play him later in the program for you. Did you hear him yesterday?
I heard a little bit. I'm a little bit like you in the fact that I just kind of tuned it out.
Yeah, it's just a dad. They've already floated. He's going to be back next Tuesday.
Yeah. And is he just going to come sauntering into the clubhouse?
Dale, I think that's what he's going to do. Tori made it clear. I can't make the guy do anything. We'll play those comments coming up as well for you out there. But you know what? It's always usually me. I haven't had any issues. I've been keeping to myself, staying out of Gen Pop a little bit, and haven't had anybody like at the sushi place that made it clear I wasn't wanted, that I wasn't going to eat at their establishment that day. People like me aren't allowed. I haven't had any of that stuff type out. I haven't had any car issues that I've had to go deal with people. I've had nothing. Nothing at all.
Uh-oh.
But Dale has.
Uh-oh.
Twitter rant for Dale. Twitter Warriors rant.
No.
For Dale.
That takes a back seat to how you open the show.
No, I want to hear this. We're starting a new segment. A new segment.
No.
Dale's going to complain about Twitter people.
No, it's when you start the show with incendiary comments like that.
I got nothing, man. I've been staying out of Gen Pop. I've been relaxed and cool. I might have a settlement on this lawsuit thing. I got word yesterday. Oh, when this thing settles, folks, you're gonna hear what City of Mesa's been doing. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Love you, City of Mesa. Treat me well.
Yeah, I would stay quiet.
I gotta stay quiet on that. But I got an update on that, so we'll see.
Until that's deposited.
We'll see. I got a court date on September 9th, pre-trial.
Okay.
I've been like, I'll go to trial on this. I don't care. Let's do it. Let's go. But yeah, so I got word on that yesterday and everything. I got nothing, Dale. So we got to start the show with something fiery. But this one I actually agree with you on. Normally you're laughing at me. Oh, it's just you and you're just you thinking it. And I've had witnesses tell you guys that it actually happened. But you guys all think I'm lying. But this one I agree with you on. Because I get sick and tired of people, and kind of the Cattell Marte situation's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Out there. So I agree with you 100% on this. I just don't understand why people are just jerks sometimes. Like, I get it. Social media, sometimes you're in a bad mood and, you had a rough day and you perceive things to, you just read things and you're like, I'm going to be a jerk right back, whether you mean to be or not. But this one actually kind of bothers me as well.
Well, why not just stay off of social media?
When you're in a mood?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I do.
Crack open a beer, turn on the TV, watch something mundane.
Yeah. Yesterday, I saw Tori's comments. I saw them when they happened. You know what I did, Dale? Scrolled on. I was like, not even going to acknowledge it till tomorrow. Which actually was probably the worst thing I can do, because I woke up today even worse mood about it.
Well, since you won't address it, I will address it. You accuse me of dry humping.
No, I'm not addressing any of that.
No.
I know. I'm trying to force Dale to just leave that hang there as well. I'm waiting. As of yesterday, Scottsdale Christian Academy doesn't know if they have a game on Friday night.
Correct.
Tonopah Valley's their opponent. They canceled a game last week. They canceled, I think, a freshman game. They canceled another game on Monday as well. Tonopah Valley did. Nobody at Tonopah Valley is reporting anything. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's reaching out to anybody as of yesterday. And the story came out on ABC 15. They went up north, Dale.
To Williams
for team building.
Yeah.
7-on-7.
By the way,
stuff.
a lot of high schools do that.
Yes.
Get out of the heat for 2-3 days.
And that type of stuff. And it's reported now from ABC 15 is the one reporting this, that the police were called because of something that happened up there. And this is where it confuses me. The only thing ABC 15 is reporting right now, they said the superintendent put faculty members on administrative leave and called Maricopa Sheriff's Office about inappropriate player-on-player behavior. So he went, we got a hazing incident. That's your first thought, right, Dale?
Right.
Okay. And Hastings gone. Hastings left football long ago. You cannot do it anymore, period. End of story, period. And they're all part of the Saddle Mountain Unified School District, if you don't know, out there at Tonopah Valley. Way out there, like 330th Avenue and all that. Like way out there by the power plant, by the the nuclear power plant, all that stuff out there. So the superintendent of the district said potentially serious incident was reported Friday and local law enforcement was contacted. So they canceled the Friday varsity game. We already told you about that. They canceled that a few hours before the game. And the junior varsity game on Monday is what they canceled also as well. So Maricopa County Sheriff's Office told ABC 15 that deputies took a report about players dry humping while the team was at a football camp in Williams. MCSO said interviews were conducted. No one wants to press charges. Is what MCSO is saying there as well. Tonopah Valley sent out a letter to the parents on Monday. Quote, student safety and well-being remain the highest priorities. Now, the superintendent, his name is Mike Winters, he put a statement to ABC 15. He would not disclose additional details of the school's investigation, other than to say faculty members are currently on administrative leave. You're going to assume the football coach is on administrative leave, right? You're going to assume that right off the bat.
Yep.
Now, who else? Now, there's these small schools. It's if they're on campus, there could be an English teacher on the staff. There could be, so a lot of things could be happening. But you assume, so that would explain why the football coach isn't responding to anybody. If he's on leave and he can't talk about it because he's under criminal investigation right now. But here's my question. This is what I don't get, Dale, and I get it. Hazing's not good. Dry humping, that description of it doesn't sound like the most terrible thing on the planet. Like if it's a joke or something, it could be more dastardly. It's just the way they're describing it. But if nobody wants to press charges, okay, what's the deal?
Again, it's so little information to go on.
I know.
That I don't want to make assertions or come up with an opinion that is ill-informed.
And I get that. Either do I. Because like I said, the way they described it, in my mind, my simple mind, doesn't sound like the worst thing that's happened. There wasn't pink bellies. There wasn't abuse. Now, dry humping could lead to abuse. Or somebody feeling weird or not liking it. I get that. But if nobody's willing to press charges, what are we investigating? What are we doing?
All right, so that will work itself out. What's affecting your team, the Scottsdale Christian Academy Eagles,
your team,
is the fact that they play them this Friday.
Yes. So you're leaving a whole nother team out in the woods. I'm willing to bet you. I'm going to put money on it. They're not. SCA's not playing on Friday night.
But
because they can't be practicing.
You have to prepare. If you're SCA, you're still kind of preparing, but you're not really preparing. Yeah. And that's why I think the superintendent should just call Mike or call SCA and say, hey, we're not playing this week either.
What's the delay here in letting them know? There's multiple ways to look at this. And then you're affecting other kids.
Right.
So, right now if you're going to play or not. If your football coach suspended,
right?
If all this stuff,
Valley, if they're still at this date,
yes, on Tuesday, on Monday
you're
night,
not going to go out and play a game after not playing last week and doing a walkthrough this week.
Yeah, it's they're probably not practicing. Like I said, I'm just assuming the coach is suspended at a minimum, knowing how these things work.
Certainly sounds like it.
And it's just what is happening, man. Where's the leadership in this? Get in front of it. I understand their side of it, but you have other kids being affected by this. Where's your leadership? If I'll even go a step farther. His statement is student safety and well-being remain our highest priorities. Okay, so you're not playing this Friday. So let the other team know.
Right.
So they can be safe and prepared, and they're not killing themselves preparing for you if they don't need to. Where's your concern about other kids out there? I don't get it. I don't understand what's happening from the leadership side right now.
It's just one of those things that you're sitting there. Again, is it the most important thing in the world to let SCA know? I don't think it's the most important thing to let them know, but it's a phone call.
Yeah, it's simple. It's not even a phone call, Dale. It's a text.
You can send a text, or take a 1 minute.
It's put a statement out. Our season is suspended until further notice.
Yes, we will.
In a statement,
be the first to let you know as soon as everything is either cleared or not.
Yeah,
and
it's as simple. Now let's go another step here because, if nobody wants to press charges, my comment was, "Then what are we doing here?" But then the district has different policies and stuff like that. Right. Just because there's no charges being pressed doesn't mean district rules were done. There could be the parents of kids that were affected negatively. Could be, this football coach, and then you're in upheaval from that side. So within the district and the school, I can understand, what we're doing on that side. Doesn't mean everything goes to legal levels, if you catch my drift here. And stuff like that. But it's just, what a story, huh?
Just, again, and hey, whatever happened there, I hope all the kids are okay and all that.
Well, absolutely. I mean, look, we grew up in an era where hazing and pink bellies and, being jerks to people for sport, taping people to the goalposts. That was a big one when I went to school. With duct tape so they couldn't get down. That was part of it. And times have changed.
Yes, they have.
You can't do stuff like that anymore.
Right.
Can't.
So, again, I always think the best way to deal with this, whether you're the Diamondbacks or you're Tonopah Valley, just be open and say, hey, until further notice.
That's what I don't get.
You guys will be the first ones to know.
That's what I don't get. He could have put that in his statement to ABC 15 yesterday. Our football program right now, you don't have to say coach has been suspended. You just go, our football program right now is not performing it for further notice until this processing.
Right.
Boom, done. Question solved. It's not that difficult to do.
Oh, Stephen.
I don't understand the world we live in. Be a leader is what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
Just be a leader, man. I mean, and for those of you just watching the show or catching the show and you don't know me very well, this next comment's sarcasm. Let's put that out there because I can see somebody going, you're a jar. I mean, I have Friday night plans. Do I have to change them? Come on. It's about me now. Come on, man.
Where is Steve eating Friday night?
Yeah, where am I going?
He needs to know.
Am I eating in Tatum and the turf on Tatum in that area? Am I going to Gilbert for Desert Ridge Gilbert? Am I going someplace else? I mean, come on. Hook a brother up. That's obviously secondary.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, but I had to put that out there because I could see somebody glamming onto that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I made it. Oh, he just cares about his schedule. What a jerk. It is fascinating. I don't understand. I just often get confused on where leadership is these days around the sports.
You're
world.
Superintendent for a reason. You should lead. And again, I'm not going to disagree with whatever your choice is.
No, it's your choice to do.
Take another week off until everything settles down and you get down to the bottom of it. That's fine, but just let everybody know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just get it out there. The secrecy is what's worse than everything. And I'm not saying you have to come out and say it. I'm not saying you have to do any of that. You don't have to say who's suspended. There's privacy laws, whatever. You don't have to do that. But what's the status on your team? It would just be let everybody know, hey, okay, here's what we're doing to move forward. We canceled these 2 games. Our programs are shut down for now while we investigate this. We'll have more info for you later. It's a simple thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then you think about the kids that are on that football team. Are they in limbo right now? That's even worse. Or do they know they're shut down?
I don't know. Again, communication is so key in every relationship out there. Communication is key. No doubt about it.
I can just imagine the rumors swirling around the parents and all of that stuff. Right. And it's not good for anything, let alone kids to go through this and stuff like that. And I'm not saying they're doing anything dastardly. It's simple things that you could put to rest. Solve the problem. If it's really dastardly, then it's just the era we live in now, Dale, then deal with it. I'm not condemning them dealing with it. But at the same time, there's some things you can wrap up. Don't let it go a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Several opponents wondering if you're going to play that week or whatever. It's not that hard to do. Say it.
You could even come out and just say, hey, as of right now, our football program is shut down. We're not playing. You will be the first to know.
Yeah.
If and when.
Yeah. It's a simple thing to do.
Yeah.
Just take the question marks out of it. Here's the other thing. Right? Safety and all that stuff is most important to you, like I said. Yes, the biggest concern, obviously, is your kids and stuff like that. But why are we punishing others? Let's say they're shutting down for the year or for several weeks. It's not just affecting this Friday night's game, the next Friday night's game, Friday night's game after that. It affected Odyssey, obviously. They're getting ready to play their game. They haven't played yet. Get it out there so people know where we stand while you're doing your investigation and whatever you need to do.
Seems like a pretty simple thing.
Doesn't it?
Just to communicate it.
I just don't get it. I don't get. That's what riles me the most on this. Where's the leadership on that side of it? I don't know about the leadership inside of there because we don't know what's happening on. We'll reserve judgment on that. But where's the leadership for other people?
Right.
And stuff. It drives me nuts, Dale. But that's what's happening.
Well, what's interesting, again, if you come back to the SCA side of it, and now other schools being affected, SCA's already got a program that's closed down this year. Mm-hmm. So they have a quote unquote bye. And they're trying to they're trying to get a game.
Yep, they're still trying. Yeah.
There's still been no clarification from the AIA about this game was listed as something.
They didn't even forfeit it. Well, the one that was canceled for Tonopah, they didn't even list it as a forfeit.
No. And so
what? How is that not a forfeit?
So what does that do to Odyssey?
Yes.
And their season.
They should be 1-0 right now.
Yeah, you would think.
If you cancel a game 3 hours, unless like a bus crash or something major like that. But you cancel right before like that, isn't that an automatic forfeit? Like when you're not, there's no bye weeks to make up that game.
No.
This is my argument though, Dale. It's like, okay, so take care of your inside business as you need to. But you got to let everybody else know what's going on too, that pertains to them as well. If your concern is kids and stuff like that effect. It's not difficult to do. A phone call, just a simple thing to the news yesterday.
You don't even have to contact the news. You can text Sheehan or the superintendent at SCA and just say, hey.
Yeah. Or at the schools you got coming up on your schedule. Here's what's going on. Not even here's what's going on. Just our football program is shut down for now. We don't know if we're going to be able to play this year.
Right. Definitely not this week. Make
arrangements as needed.
Yeah.
And I apologize for what we're dealing with, but we got to deal with this stuff.
Right.
Nobody's going to forgive. Nobody's going to hate them for it.
No.
I mean, some people will, but most of us aren't going to hate them for it and things to that effect. But I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. It drives me nuts. And also stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. Not the day.
Well, you and Mike should have an interesting conversation tomorrow.
Exactly. He's gonna be like, I have to cancel because of Tonopah Valley.
It'll be fascinating to see how this week plays out, and what happens if they don't say anything, they get a call on Thursday. Hey, everything's been cleared. We're good to go down.
Well,
here.
That's the thing. Like, is that fair?
Yeah, I don't know. So
we're still playing on Friday. That's what I mean. Like, to me, that's a safety issue for kids you're playing.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Because are they practicing hard? Are they not practicing hard? They assume they're not playing type of a situation. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to see where this is going to go, but they obviously have other things to worry about, and we'll let them handle their stuff. I'm not going to fault them there's district policies. There's other policies.
No doubt about it.
Even if it doesn't cross into a legal side, I'm sure I'll bet 1,000% it's against district policy for hazing and stuff to that effect, which I'm going to guess this falls under.
It's going to fall under something. And again, you deal with it. You do what you need to do with it. And I full-heartedly support you.
Yeah.
Just tell the next couple teams.
Yeah. Seriously. I'm being serious. Yeah, that's what bothers me.
That's all.
It's not difficult to do while you're dealing with stuff. You could have sent a blurb out there. But, and everything. And, I mean, I'm on board with it. If kids are... I'll just put it this way. I look at a lot of things kids get disciplined for in school these days. I look at it and I go, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But that's the world we live. That's the world we live in nowadays.
Gotta adjust, Steve.
The world we live in now. I go, back then, the kid would got beaten up. It would have been worse for the kid.
Steve, the good old days.
I don't know if I'd say that, Dale. I don't know if I'd say that. But so there's times I just sit there and I go, you're complaining about that? Really? You're saying that's a bad thing? And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, just let it go and it'll go away. And they're like, no, this is serious. And I'm like, is it? Is it serious? But it's the era we live in nowadays. And so you got to deal with it. It's the reality of it. No matter how dumb you think it is, they got to deal with it and pass on to that. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not rocking that side. It's just, get everything else put together as well.
I just hope by tomorrow when you have Mike on that they have some resolution as to whether they're playing or not.
We'll see there as well. Ann says communication's key. And we're seeing that everywhere. Just nobody's communicating with anybody.
Communication and it's one of the most simple things.
I know. And nobody's doing it.
Whether it's your husband or your wife,
that's why the divorce rate's so high right now, Dale.
Or whether it's your student, or whether it's your player,
your kids,
your coach,
your parents.
it just blows my mind.
I had to call my dad last night and talk to him about something I got coming up and everything. And
Are you grounded?
No, well, he might be. He might be out of my way.
Well, make sure you plug your car in when you're over there while you're talking to him.
I've got that. I'm going to fill you guys in on it more, but I got this appointment coming up with a doctor. But it's all screwed up. It's not what I was expecting and all that stuff. And I realized it yesterday, and he's the one that booked it for me.
Yeah.
So I had to call him up and be like, hey, we talked exclusively about this thing. He's like, well, it's not that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I found that out today. What do I need to do to fix this? And stuff like that. But it's a communication. And I found out. He's like, oh, I this is what I ordered. So I know that they made the doctors made the mistake. Not my dad who's, getting up there in age. And it could have been him. But you just talk about it. It's not that hard to do. It wasn't that hard to make that phone call. Find out if my dad needs to go to home or not.
Wow.
He escapes on this one.
It sounds you're a little too excited about that.
He escapes this time. Wasn't his fault. But no, it's just amazing from the Ketel Marte to, we talk about LaFleur a lot here and how much we like him because he does communicate, even if it's weird communication and, beats around the bush and doesn't give you the exact answer, but there's communication happening in that process and, and things to that effect. It's simple. And just the lack of it out there is just shocking the heck out of me right now. And I don't get it. I just don't understand what we're dealing with in this world and stuff like that out there as well. So before we get into anything else, I got a couple of things here. Bruce Cooper is coming in today, but on a serious note, Dale, I was trying to avoid talking about that subject there because it actually makes me angry, especially at the high school level. It makes me angry.
So you tried to avoid it, but you opened up accusing me.
I know. Well, no. I said, good thing you're not dry humping. I didn't say you were dry humping.
Which everybody all of a sudden perked up and said, what Dale is or it isn't.
Just think of all the people out there that aren't into high school and know what's going on with 2A high school sports. Imagine what they were like, what? That's a weird intro. Like Dale cares, folks, about what we're saying out there. But it goes to communication as well on a serious note here and everything. I know you wanted to talk about on the Twitter side and everything. Because you saw a post. I saw the post. I didn't realize that you knew this gentleman and stuff like that. But it goes to kind of what the Marte situation's leading out there on it, where people are attacking, people out there for doing stuff and reporting on it and or talking about it and everything from that perspective. And it leads to the lack of communication from the Diamondbacks and stuff like that. And I did it yesterday. I saw Tori's things and I was just like, dealing with that later. Not even going to just discuss that today. I'm kind of tired of it. Dale, tell people how they should run Twitter and social media posts and things when they hear things they don't want to hear.
It's just it was blowing my mind on, I think it was Sunday when I was reading this tweet. And I've always thought this way. If you don't agree with somebody, if whatever, it's just as easy to swipe up.
Yeah.
Go on to the next thing as it is to press comment and respond.
It's actually easier to swipe than it is to comment.
Much easier.
Yes.
And this was courtesy of a friend of mine. Played with him for a few years in Dallas. A guy named Babe Laufenberg. He was a sports reporter after he played in Dallas, so I've known him for a while. And it's been very public. He went through a thing with his son Luke, who played football in high school in Dallas and then went to UTEP. And he contracted cancer. And their journey. And then there was...
Yeah, while he was playing at UTEP, no less.
Yeah. And then there was the treatment, aggressive treatment and all that. And then there's a little remission. And, they had 6 months, 9 months of, they just go fishing and he was working out again, and there's hope, and then bam, he got hit again and died very quickly. And Babe started a foundation. He's done a lot of things to keep Luke's name alive. And he posts something really every Luke's birthday on Twitter and just said, hey, it's anniversary of it's. I think he puts it as his son's birthday.
Yes.
And just talks about him.
Yes.
It's still raw. It was his 21-year-old kid. It happened a couple years ago.
And on top of it, what he posted the other day was a teammate of his talking about what going through that with him and what he means to him being on the UTEP team with him. So it was even another player talking about how much this Luke, his son meant to the school and to him and stuff to that effect, is a video he posted on top of the tribute and everything.
And so it's just a dad. I can't even imagine losing either one of my daughters right now, but much less when they were 21, and watch them and go through that journey and watch them suffer and all that. That would suck beyond belief. And so he posts this every year. And, I always take a moment. I always pray for Babe and the mom of Luke and everything they went through, and then I move on.
Well, yeah. Here's what he posted as you get into, because I want to be factual here, because I agree with you on that. He said, Babe Luffenberg said this: "Tomorrow will be 7 years since Luke died. I'll be broadcasting Cowboys Cardinals with a heavy heart. On the day he died, his friend and teammate at UTEP, Forrest McKee, talked about Luke's toughness. Then he had the video of the tribute there from the teammate and things to that. That's all he posted, folks, on there."
Can you read do you have that response that got me so pissed off?
I will in a second.
Okay, because, again, ladies and gentlemen, whether you know Babe Laufenberg, whether you don't know Babe Laufenberg, whether you love him, whether you hate, why would you do anything but love you, Babe, sending you strength?
Yeah. Or don't say anything.
Or scroll
Dale, yesterday, because when you told me, I didn't realize that you knew. I knew you played with him, but I didn't realize you stay in contact with him and stuff like that when I saw this. But I went through all the comments on that post. 90% of them were just like, "Man, feel for you, wish you the best." You did it. Some people were like, "You did a good job broadcasting Cowboys Cardinals on Saturday night, knowing his heavy heart, all of that stuff." Then you got this one guy named Tony. Tony, I hope bad things happen to you. Yeah, but I digress.
It is really one of those things where you saw, because Babe had to respond to it.
He did, and that's what I will go through.
And Babe doesn't. He when he says it, so you read Tony's, but when Babe responds that I don't get into Twitter
he goes, "I don't
fights.
do Twitter fights," but he goes, "I'm going to make an exception." Rightfully so, by the way.
Yes.
But Tony said, "I don't understand why you can't get over it emotionally. I lost a brother, which I loved dearly at age 21. Went through divorce, lost everything. I married again 6 years later and died the next year. Cancer came quick. Move on, brother. Shit not that serious. Enjoy your life," was Tony's response. And I just have to sit back, Dale, and it's not funny, but I just sit back and go, "Man, Tony, your life is miserable."
What?
It makes me giggle just because I'm like, "What? Who are you, man? What is your life like?"
What possesses you to take the time to write that out?
Yeah, he literally wrote that out.
And that's what it hit me, like right between the eyes of those, what Twitter has done, what social media has done in my mind. Those people used to have no outlet. They used to just be in their basement.
They were doing this at the bar,
whatever. And you never saw them, and you never heard of them.
Yeah.
And now they have an outlet.
Yeah.
But my God, any parent, and you can't empathize with the loss of a son or a daughter?
Well, just to type that is diabolical.
Yes.
Tony's got dead people someplace.
And you look at what he goes through. "I lost my brother. That would suck."
Yeah.
At
age 21.
Yeah. That would definitely suck. But then I'm divorced. I lost everything, and I'm fine.
Not quite the same thing.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. Babe says, "I don't do Twitter fights, but I'll make an exception here. 1, I'm not your brother. 2, move on. Shit not that serious," as he put that quote in there. "You lose your 21-year-old son to cancer, and your comment is shit not that serious?" And he goes, 3, if you have any free time today, go F yourself. Except he used the whole thing. So I did like that response from that side. But I agree with you on this, and it kind of goes to the Marte situation, which I don't care. Like I said, if you come on my feed and you be belligerent, I just tend to ignore you for the most part. Every once in a while I'll entertain one of the clowns out there. But it's just like, just like you said, man, just scroll on. That's the lesson of the day today. Communicate But sometimes communication is not communicating when you're going to say something stupid.
If you want to congratulate somebody, you want to agree with somebody, if you have an intelligent comment about whatever the situation is, fine. But what goes through your mind to stop, read it again, press comment, type it out, and then go, send.
He did take a lot of crap when he opened up his thing. I mean, a lot of people were all over him.
Yeah.
But it just goes to the whole point of it. It's just communication. And look, I get it, man. Sometimes you're just in a bad mood. Work sucks. You work your butt off.
Put the phone down.
Exactly. Just it's time to do that sometimes.
Put the phone down. Hey, if you're drunk, put the phone down.
Well, like I do that where like football season's coming up. I'm going to be on my social media feeds. I'm going to be on my computer a lot here for the next 5-6 months.
Right.
Leading up to that, we took Fridays off to kind of get away from that. And if you notice, there's like at least one day a week where you just don't hear a lot of me on the social medias. I do that for a reason because I'm getting ready to ramp it up and get into it. And you need the break and stuff like that. Just stop it, folks. It's just stop. And this one, not just because of this, but then just the Marte situation. I mean, just the things people were DMing me or reaching out to me and just calling me names because of my opinion on and I'm just sitting there like, how miserable is your life that you have to lash out on me, and stuff to that. Some of it's justified. I'm not going to lie to you. Some people are right when they go, you're an idiot. Well, yeah, I am. But, thanks for responding.
But at the end of the day, no matter what Steve thinks, no matter what I think, no matter what Bruce Cooper, when he comes in, thinks, none of us have any say in what the Diamondbacks are going to do with Marte.
No.
But we can give our opinion.
Well, that's what we do, Dale. That's literally what we do.
And you can disagree with it. Yeah. And if you have a poignant argument, sure, hey, I'll listen to it. I'm just trying to give you a view from the locker room, what I'm thinking if that's one of my teammates.
And I just sit back and I just sit there and go like I'm an opinion host. I've always claimed I'm not a guy that breaks news, even though I can hear some stuff. I'll phrase it in the way stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm literally an opinion host. That's why y'all are listening and watching. You're not here for my breaking news. You're not here for my fact-based stuff. You're here for my raw opinions that sometimes come off the cuff and stuff like that. And if you're not watching us because you don't like that, then that's your thing to do. That's what I do.
Or they're watching from my eye candy.
Well, that too. But that's what I do here. I try to be funny about it. I try to have fun with it. I say absurd things sometimes to be funny about stuff. Like my whole thing of, come on, Tonopah, it's going on my Friday night now. Like that's absolute ridiculous joke that I say out there and stuff like that. It's not that hard to deal with it. And then you got guys bashing like Gambo, which I'm not a big fan of Gambo, like what he does and the way he talks and in terms of how he reports stuff and things like that. But the guy's done a lot in the Valley. He's fantastic for the Valley, done a lot of stuff. But the way people say things about him, and you don't realize who he is. He's a breaking news guy. And they expect more from him. You just got to know who people are and what they do and like it or don't like it. Yeah. It's not that hard. And then keep scrolling is what we're trying to
keep
get to.
Keep scrolling. And again, I think it's fairly easy rule of thumb. You want to have sports arguments, you keep it to sports, and we can agree to disagree.
Never goes.
Well, why get personal?
I'll listen to somebody's other opinion.
Yeah,
like Robert and even Autumn. They all have different sports opinions.
Yes,
I listen to them. I may not agree with them,
right?
But I listen to them, and I generally don't clap back or anything. And people that come on my feed, I listen to you. That's a unique perspective. That's wrong, but that's a unique perspective, and I don't argue about it. I just go, okay.
And every once in a while, you'll probably get hit with something like, "Man, I never even thought of it."
Well, exactly.
Way.
I go, well, I need to look into that. I need to talk about. Like one of the guys with the Marte thing, it was pretty funny. He literally was like, "You don't know what you're talking about." I go, "I literally spent all week talking to coaches, ex-professional athletes, professional athletes today, and I got a varying opinion. Everybody, I'll tell you this: everybody's opinion differs, which is fascinating to me. People in locker rooms have different opinions on. I told you guys, Dave Nash, angry fan, last week. Oh, no, I'd welcome Marte back in 2 seconds because he'll help me win. And I was like, really? You're the most competitive guy I know.
Yeah.
And that shocked me. It shocked me. So you'd be surprised on it. And this guy was like, you don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, you're right. Keep talking to the wall.
But I guess my 2 words of warning or 2 cautionary terms.
Give it to us.
Number 1, just scroll up. Number 2, don't attack a person personally, especially as family. Hey, you want to call me ugly and fat?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the first. You're not going to hurt me.
That's just from here. That's just today.
I just heard that from Steve and Ethan. And I'll hear from Coop. But don't attack my family.
No.
They have nothing to do with it. They have nothing to do with what I'm saying or what I'm thinking. So please, if you have any doubt, scroll up.
I'm going to use the immortal words of the great ASU head coach. Don't hit send. Of course, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The greatest ASU head coach on the planet.
In the pantheon of ASU head coaches, you got Frank Kush, and you got...
Do you think... Oh, wait, well, who's number 1, though? I mean...
You got Frank Kush, and you got Herman Edwards.
Somebody right now is like, okay, this guy's an idiot. Obviously joking, folks, out there. Before we get to Bruce Cooper here, really quick, we talked about Deshaun Watson. You know, we played his comments yesterday where he talked on Saturday about how it's personal and the fans don't like me and it's personal. I'm really a good dude when you're not, you know, type of stuff.
No regrets.
Yeah,
Steve,
and then,
I've had no regrets.
And then we played Monken, the head coach, going, just play better and people will stop booing, which is actually very true. Yeah. That's why I floated yesterday, play Ketel Marte on the road. Hold him out until you go on the road and play him there, because he can actually, if he plays well, coming back, fans might be a little bit warmed up to him a little bit. They're not going to do that, apparently, but I floated it out there. Deshaun Watson gets named the starting quarterback, and he has to go in front of the media yesterday. It's like a 2.5-minute clip. We're not going to play it that long. Ethan, cut this video off at 1:40. That's everything after that. He just starts repeating himself. But listen to Deshaun Watson's comments yesterday after being named the starter. This is hilarious.
Everyone ready? Good. First off, I want to address the comments from Saturday after the game. You know, I think just, you know, human nature, just myself being very emotional, putting a lot of time these last 2 years to, you know, get back and, you know, spend time in this facility, in the city, meeting a lot of different people in the community. You know, I thought I was going to get, you know, a little different response, but, you know, I think, you know, my emotions got the best of me, and, you know, my comments wasn't intending to go at any of the fans around in the city, because there's been a lot of great fans that have been supporting me, and I know the frustration this organization have put, you know, a lot of investment and coming, you know, to get me back in 22. And things haven't been going the right direction that we thought it was. You know, a lot of injuries, a lot of time off, and not putting the best football and my foot forward. So, again, just, you know, I understand the frustration. I understand everything that kind of goes into that, you know, and moving forward, I just want to focus on football, making sure that, you know, I'm putting the best product out there. Having the best ability, you know, because I thrive off the energy. I thrive off the energy of the fans. I thrive off the energy of the community. I thrive off all that stuff. You know, I think looking back in my history at Clemson and, you know, previous at the Houston organization, you know, I was a big community guy, big city guy, big fan guy, you know, during the game. So, you know, again, my emotions got the best of me. I'm human. I take full responsibility.
Oh, we heard how big of a community guy you were, buddy. We heard that.
All the way around, Steve.
We heard that. Dale, is that not the biggest? I'm just kidding, folks. I love you all.
Bottom line is they all kind of scoff at that. Now, if he goes out and throws 4 touchdowns and Cleveland wins the first game.
I've never seen anybody react and walk back stuff so fast in my life. That was an amazing thing that happened yesterday there by the Cleveland Browns.
Just crazy.
But at the same time, come on, man. I'm just a great community guy. Yeah, we know. We've heard.
Why can't sports organizations get out of their own way sometimes?
It cracks me up. They have PR people.
Yes.
Somebody could have written him something. It goes on for another 30, 40 seconds, and he's just rambling about what a great guy he is. It's like hard to listen to. Like, dude, what?
Highly paid PR people.
Yes.
You got owners of football teams who are saving
Billionaires.
money on prostitutes.
Hey, Dale.
Hey, there's only 32 of them in the world.
Dale, all I'm going to say is...
And 2 of the 30 have been caught basically at the strip mall.
Dale. And we know of another one that's done it, but it kind of got shoveled under a little bit. Cowboys. Cowboys. Dale, all I'm saying is you bought the Groupon. You might as well use it.
Get out of here.
Bruce Cooper's next, folks. And we're back here. Main event on Tuesdays means we get a legend through the building. Normally that's me, but on Tuesdays it's Bruce Cooper.
Acquiesce.
And Dale Hellestrae.
Yeah.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
AFC Championship game with the Bills.
The guy who left
Cowboys.
the Cowboys high and dry and not been the same.
Not been the same since Hellestrae.
That's always my joke, really. That's always my joke is like, if something happened to this building right now, the story would be Bruce Cooper, Dale Hellestrae, and some other guy. Bad things happen to them at this building. So that's always my joke when it comes to that coming forward. But go ahead, Dale.
Coop, guess where I'm going tomorrow? I've been invited.
You're off again?
As a special guest.
You must be Detroit Aikman and the Dallas Cowboys silver anniversary.
Make sure you talk into the microphone, by the way.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't even guess that. He sounds loud to me sitting next to me.
The Vegas Raiders, who I never played a regular season game for, but I was paid by them for a year because I totally dislocated my ankle and fractured my fibula.
You were with the Raiders. When were you with the Raiders?
Yeah, well, after Buffalo, I became a free agent, and I signed with the Raiders when they're in Los Angeles. And second practice of training camp.
Well, you never played a regular season?
No. But every year I get an email from them saying, hey, last preseason game, we'll fly you and a guest in. We'll put you up at a hotel. There's a dinner. There's a suite for the game, food, drinks, breakfasts. And John Gisick and I, we both said, hey, let's both you and I go in case we're the only two people we know.
Guess, right?
Yeah. You don't even like the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kubai tried it too, and it didn't work. I just want to meet Howie Long. That's what I want to do. That's all I want to do. Yeah.
So I'll be doing that. Meanwhile, won 3 Super Bowls, played 11 years in Dallas, and I get invited back and get yourself here, put yourself up in a hotel, and we'll walk you out at halftime. So you can wave to the crowd.
And you have to pay for the ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, it's 10% off the price of our tickets.
Yeah.
How about that deal?
Yeah, it's an amazing thing to do. So, Bruce, how you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I not really. I went and had a physical last week, not really happy with the results they sent back. I mean, they talk about how like I'm anemic now, and I got to go back for another blood draw. I'm like, dude, I feel perfectly fine.
Right.
I think if anemic, it seems like you're like low in energy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not low in any energy. I mean, so I got to go back for this nonsense.
Do you have to eat different, or do you have to take anything right now?
Well, I looked it up, and it talked about how eating more things like green vegetables, or beans, or something along those lines. And steak, which you guys know I'm not a steak eater.
Yeah, you're not. You're a seafood guy.
Meat, so.
You are anemic.
So I got to go for that. So, but outside of that, I'm good.
Good.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm dealing with the thing. So, Robert, I know I've heard that there as well.
Adam Schefter on.
Adam Schefter is complaining about your microphone too right now. So, we'll get that fixed here in just a minute. But really quick. Robert says, wait. Your dad's making your doctor appointments? No, this is the one for the company, Robert. I'm going to tell you more about this coming up, but that's why it was made by my dad with our investment company. That's what that's about there. So, no, my dad normally doesn't make my appointments. So, got to go on record on that. Well, you just went and did a physical. Yeah. I'll tell you off. I'll tell everybody later on, but I'll tell you after the air. But I'm getting a weird test done here coming up. Make sure I'm healthy and all that stuff, which I already know the results. I don't need to go to the doctor for that.
Hey, lose some weight.
Yeah. Your knees hurt. Why? Oh, because you're fat. Get off of that as well.
All right, Coop, I want to throw this out there to you. Second hour, obviously, we'll get into Cattell and the Cardinals and your boy Josh Sweat showing up and lots to talk about. But before we get there, I coached at Scottsdale Christian Academy for a long, long time. Took the last couple days or couple years off. Just hey,
what have they done those couple years?
Well, they continue to win championships. I left after two. They won a third, and now they're on path for a fourth. But here's the thing: the 2A level, they don't have bye weeks. Okay, and they SCA found out. And the AIA found out probably a week, 10 days before school started, that I think it was Glendale Prep, one of the schools, shut down the program.
Whoa.
So they're on SCA's schedule, but no bye weeks to try and make up schedules or whatever. And now SCA went down and played Pima last Friday. They ended up winning. And to go get on their charter bus to come back, it had broken down at Pima, so they had to spend the night in the Pima classrooms.
No way.
Only to find out that when they get up on Saturday morning, that Tonopah Valley had canceled their game an hour and a half before because of some stuff that went on up at preseason camp in Williams. So they didn't play Friday. That's who SCA plays this Friday. And as of today, Tonopah Valley has not let SCA know if they're going to have a game or not. How crazy is small school, high school football? I know you used to be a big high school guy, but mostly I think you hung around with the bigger schools mostly on your Friday Night Fever.
Yeah. But we have had the smaller schools.
Right.
Matter of fact, even an 8-man football team we had in. So that's 1A.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're right. For the most part, it's always used the big schools, 4A, 5A, 6A.
Right. But what a start to a season for the defending state champ.
Yeah, Dale, I'm really surprised. So the bus broke down.
Yeah. Charter bus. We have little white buses that you can take 15 kids in. Sometimes in Valley games we'll just drive those.
And that company didn't have the wherewithal to be able to.
Guy came out, had the wrong parts. This would be another 2 hours.
They're going to try to fix it?
Yeah.
Dude, bring another bus.
Bring another bus. Right? That's what I thought, too. Like, just bring another bus out. It's not that hard.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
Yeah. And that's what's funny. I've seen a lot of people on social media say that, man. Well, are they trying to keep SCA out of the playoffs and everything? 2-3 in a row. That's how they're going to do it. That type of stuff. And that interesting start to the season. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't even blame this on the AI.
No.
You can't blame this.
No.
This is I mean,
but now it's
stuff.
Tuesday, and there's been no word from Tonopah Valley on whether they're going to play this Friday night or not.
Well, has SCA tried calling Tonopah?
Yes, of course I think they did over the weekend because the game for Tonopah Valley, they called, I forget who they were playing, Dysart or something.
Odyssey.
Odyssey. 2 hours before the game, as Odyssey was getting on the bus to come to them and say, hey, don't bother coming, we're not playing tonight.
Well, what kind of preseason issue could there be? I would expect that the AIA would want some type of explanation from Tonopah Valley.
Yeah.
Because that's something that they would want to be able to disseminate and for anyone that's on their future schedules. I mean, what's the nature? How long are we talking?
Right.
Because they're the one that really sanction and legislate.
Supposedly the word is that there's some dry humping incidents.
ABC 15's reporting that when they're up there, potentially serious incident is what they said. It was reported Friday. Local law enforcement got involved. Nobody wanted to press charges, but they canceled the Friday varsity game and junior varsity game on Monday. As well,
and administrative staff have been put on leave.
Okay, so there has been some reasoning that has been
right.
Yeah, now as of yesterday, there was, but it's still not on that. Yeah, but it's a lack of communication that just bothers the crap out of me with other schools and kids and things to that effect.
When did the administration at Tonopah Valley find out this?
Thursday or Friday, evidently. Yeah. So now you're looking at it, you're going, It's Tuesday of game week, and again, I'm not even going to try and guess how serious the situation is and all that, but it just keeps going back. Everything in life, Coop, in my mind, can be solved with communication. Whether it's Cattell Marte, whether it's Tonopah Valley, whether it's a husband and a wife arguing, whether it's a relation, boyfriend, girl. Everything can be mostly dealt with communication, and people suck at it.
Well, sometimes communication can get hot and heavy. Can't really agree to disagree even, but I hear what you're saying. Absolutely. I mean, I find this situation at Tonopah Valley really, really disturbing. Yeah. I guess if they found out either the night before or the day of, the administration really didn't have a whole lot of leeway in terms of how to deal with it. But, and I guess the media has now put out some type of information regarding the situation, according to what you guys say that ABC 15 is reporting. But, I mean, you do have adults that, run that school.
Right.
And those adults do know how to answer a phone call. Because if I'm an adult from SCA and I'm calling the adult line, be it the principal, the athletic director, or the district athletic director to get some type of information and no one's picking up the phone, there's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, let's take a break here. Let's see if we can get Bruce's microphone a little bit better for you out there. We'll blame Dalehausen for this. We'll be right back, folks. Second hour main event coming up next. back to your second hour main event.
That's better.
Hopefully you enjoyed those.
That's better. Less coop.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me. Less coop is better.
There you
So
go.
we got him. I don't think Coop's echoey anymore. We don't know. We must have something set up wrong with the third mic, but he's not echoey now. A little bit quieter, so Dale and I will have to be less quiet.
Yeah.
Talking with Bruce on here and everything. So apologize, folks. We'll get it fixed, but deal with us here as well. But when we went to break there, we were, of course, talking the high school football side of it. Things to that. But obviously, the big conversation over the last week around the Diamondbacks has been Ketel Marte, and it hasn't quieted down at all. Last week you came in here and said you don't want to see him play for you anymore.
He was done. He's played his last game for me.
Yeah.
If I were the Diamondbacks front office or manager.
Yesterday they said he's coming back Tuesday.
Well, let me put it to you like this. When I was here last week, and I said that if I were the Diamondbacks front office or manager, I would say he's played his last game. I'd call my team in and tell the rookies like Jose Fernandez, hey, this roster spot is yours. I know you're young, but this is good experience going forward. We're done with Ketel trying to trade him. I said I'd already looked and saw the Washington Nationals. I'd love to be able to get C.J. Abrams from him in a trade. But again, Ketel has that 10-5 deal, and so basically he controls where he goes. But having said all that, I know some of the players, even Mike Hazen and Torey Lovullo, they wanted to hear a reason why. To me, there's no reason that you could give that would be suitable to me. But even as I sit here today, knowing that Mike Hazen's already talked to him one-on-one, I've yet to hear what Ketel's reasons were for not showing up.
Right.
He was a no-show. So if the reason that he gave to Hazen is acceptable, because Steve just told us that he's going to play next Tuesday.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. He's scheduled to come on.
If he's told Hazen his reason and Hazen finds it suitable, why doesn't Hazen relay that to the media?
Right.
That's number one for me.
Well, it goes a step farther than that. And while you're talking about that as well, so he's coming back on Tuesday. I want to play you guys what Torey Lovullo said yesterday. So, Coop, after last Tuesday, a lot happened. They had the meeting, all of that stuff here. But yesterday, and then they're sitting there talking about it leading up to that meeting. The president of the organ, Derek Hall, said, well, I can forgive him. I just have to know the reason why, and it's got to be a good one. All of that talk was happening last week. Here's Torey yesterday on the Ketel situation.
It just probably depends on the individual. We're trying to create the softest space for him to reemerge back into this environment, and that's up to him however he wants to do it. I cannot force a human being to do something that I want to do, or anybody in this room wants to do, or a fan wants to do. One of the things that made Ketel such an extraordinary player is that he goes to the beat of his own drum, and I respect that. And I don't know some of the answers to that question, because I've talked to just about every player, and I know how they feel, but it's a very individualized situation. How are you taking this day by day, and what are you willing to do to help is the mindset in that clubhouse. With Ketel, he's very private and he's very quiet, and it's hard to extract information from him. And we all know that we can retreat if we go back to disagreements that we've had with loved ones or family members, brothers, sisters, parents. Sometimes you pull back and you want to just retreat and survey. Maybe that's what he's done. So I have not talked to him, but the one day at Salt River, and I'm allowing him to have his space. When it's time, it'll be time.
That infuriates me.
Man, well, come on now. Wait, he's allowing him to have his soft space.
Yeah.
What the hell is
No,
that?
he wants a place for a soft landing.
He wants a soft landing,
Well,
but he's giving him his
Let me tell you
space.
something. I already know that Ketel's soft. He literally is.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember last year, and as I was listening to that, and I heard that soft space and stuff, I already know that the dude's soft because there was an incident. I believe they were in Chicago. I could be wrong, but I think it was Chicago if my memory is serving me right. There was some fan that said something about his mother.
Yeah.
And this dude's crying on the field.
Yeah.
And now mentally he's a wreck. Dude, stop it. You're a grown-ass man playing professional baseball. Be a man and play the game.
But be clear. His mother had passed away, 5 years ago, something like that? It wasn't like she died that weekend or recently.
Right.
Not saying...
Right, but
they made it sound like the guy fan attacked him, and when you heard what the fan said, it wasn't as bad as they let on.
Yeah, and so that's what let me say. This dude is soft, and so not only is he soft and sensitive, but he expects his players and his managers and his general manager and their owner. He expects them to acquiesce to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, and the Diamondbacks are clearly normalizing his behavior. I mean, for crying out loud, the dude he was a no-show last year. Okay, we've gotten past that. This is more egregious. The one last year was coming right out of the All-Star break. This one, I'm like in the final, 6 weeks of a pennant drive. Yeah. Are you freaking kidding me? And you're going to be a no-show? Dude, there is no reason. And I heard you talk about how Derek Hall said, hey, let me hear his explanation to see if I can forgive. No, there is no explanation this man can give me that would be acceptable. He's gone. And keep in mind, I do, like I talked about, I do understand that he controls where he goes, but I would not have taken that man off the restrictive list, the meaning that he's not getting another dime from me, and that may be enough to push him to accept a trade. Like, hey, give us a list of teams you'd be willing to go to. We'll try to make it work. Right. But you're done here. And do I understand that that your value on the open market is devalued? I do, but you're out of here. Yeah. And listen to Torey's soundbite. Torey's talking about he's talked to each and every one of his players. Mm-hmm. I would imagine that some aren't down with this. Mm-hmm. I that's just my assumption. Because I can't think that all the other 25 players in that roster are accepting of his behavior. I mean, we got some veterans on that team too that know better and wouldn't accept that. I would believe. I believe like the Nolan Arenados, especially a guy who's been around and
the veterans.
on the precipice of maybe retiring. Like, they're not putting up with that crap.
A Hall of Famer in Arenado, he's not putting up with that.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't think, right?
Absolutely, yeah, I would think so. But having said that, I mean, dude, I heard that, and I know you guys probably reported on it. Ketel Marte was at a freaking casino during a game.
Yes.
And I've heard Torey come out and say, well, look, I mean, he went through his rehab, and so I mean, he's free to do what he wants to do. I mean, dude, again, if I'm a teammate, I'm like, this dude's giving me the middle finger again.
Yes,
I mean, if Torey says he could go and do whatever he wants, well, I can think of some other things that he could have done that night, like being at Chase Field, supporting your teammates. And again,
but I wonder.
I just don't understand why they allowed this man to
I wonder if the Diamondbacks have told him to stay away from the team because he hasn't addressed the team yet. Because he doesn't want to address the team, Coop. This is what you're missing. He doesn't want to talk to Martin. Torey just said right there, I haven't talked to him since the meeting. If he wants to be back on this team and be part of this team, and then they said, Torey said the day before, there's a plan in place for him to address the team. Why does there need to be a plan in place? Marte knows when the team gets there. Marte knows when certain players are there. You just show up and you go in and go, hey, Perdomo, hey, Moreno, hey, Corbin, hey, whoever. Can I have a minute of your time to talk to you and apologize to you and stuff like that? What do you have to have a plan in place to have a meet with them? They're babying the guy left and right.
Absolutely. Look, he knows when they show up to the clubhouse for a game because there's always a pregame and stuff like that. Show your ass up.
That's my point.
The whole team is there. I'm not talking to anyone individually. I'm apologizing to the entire team. But I never thought about that point you just made.
I'm wondering if they told him you stay away from the team until you're going to apologize when you come back, and then if he's off the IL on Monday, I just wondering if that's part of it. Because why? Otherwise, why wouldn't he be there to show?
But even
if he didn't want to?
Even if the team told him that, I would show up the next day.
I would have too. I would have showed up, made him kick me out, and be like, "I'm here to apologize."
And then you dive a little deeper. Well, to me, I said either for that Friday night thing because I got texts like at 6:52 from a couple of my buddies who happened to be at the casino. And said, look who's here. The game's at 6:40, whatever. And I said either Cattell really does have a gambling problem, or he's given the biggest middle finger to not only the front office, but his teammates.
Yeah.
And because, again, I'm not even saying be at the stadium if they've told him stay away, but you're not out in public gambling while your team is playing a team that you just left high and dry.
Right.
And he wants to go somewhere else. Supposedly, he liked a tweet that said he wants to be traded or doesn't want to play for the Diamondbacks anymore.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Now, Coop,
really?
you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth. You might be a little more new wave than I am. But I never knew anything that this is the way that the younger guys send messages. Like when Kyler Murray scrubbed his social media of the Cardinals, I'm like, okay, that's too.
I was like the same too.
Yeah, and at that time, some of your guys, there's trouble. I'm like, by scrubbing your social media? And that was true.
Yeah.
And so they send a message to social media. There's no other team in this league that would allow him to get away with the things that the Diamondbacks have allowed him to get away with. Whether he doesn't want to play against a pitcher. Whether he doesn't want to face Shohei Ohtani.
I used the Devers situation last year with the Red Sox. Remember? They told him, you're never going to play in the field again. You're just going to be our DH. They had injuries. They said, all right, we need you to play first base. And he said no. Shipped off to the Giants. Right. No questions asked. See you later. You're on the Giants. We don't care at this point.
Right.
Only the Diamondbacks put up with this stuff. Then last year, Hazen had a chance to move Marte in the offseason, and we know that. Robert says the Red Sox offered one of the top young left-handed starters, top 5 overall prospect in the minors, and Hazen kept on to him. This executive team has created Marte. They're continue to baby Marte, and that's where I get offended as a fan is why are we babying this guy? He's saying I can't force a guy. The guy's got 16 million reasons to listen to you.
Yeah, you look. You can discipline him if he doesn't do what you say. You're the manager, he's the player.
Right.
And there is a distinction between the two. That every clubhouse, every locker room, every organization of professional sports, even collegiate sports, high school, they understand that. The coach is the voice of authority. The player has to follow suit. Otherwise, there are disciplinary actions or
the problem is that follow. The problem is I firmly believe in this organization. Torey Lovello has no say in anything. It's coming from above. And I'm even convinced now it's coming from the owner and Derek Hall by Derek Hall's comments and then the quietness of the owner. It's telling me it's coming from those guys that Marte gets what he wants and you guys just have to deal with
why
it.
is Marte so special?
Yeah.
I mean, why does he get put on a pedestal and the other 25 don't? See, that's the type of stuff that will fracture a locker room or a clubhouse. I mean, come on, man. I'd be asking for a trade. I'd want to go someplace else where, we have a more united team.
You're saying you're talking the other players.
Yeah, I'm the other players.
Oh, yeah, I agree, yeah. My contract's coming up, I'm out of here. Because I'm going to go play for a team.
I mean, if I'm Corbin Carroll, I'll ask for a trade.
Yeah, it's just these guys are grinding it out. They're all injured. They're all not feeling well. They're showing up every time. And it is amazing, though, because, on the social media side of it, a couple of people reaching out to me going, well, the Diamondbacks asked him to play, and he could risk his career playing on that knee. And I was like,
what?
but there's ways there's ways to combat that. You go to the NFL, you go to the NBA or the Major League Baseball PA Association. You show up and you get treatment. You don't just not show up.
Absolutely.
But that's the side of it here is he's got enough people behind him where he can't do no wrong. And that's amazing to me that's out there in that attitude. And he's not – he's 30-something years old.
32 years old. He'd be 33
and
in
you're
October.
treating him like you're afraid of him for some reason.
Like in the 19-year-old phenom that just came up and doesn't understand.
Yeah.
how to be part of a team.
But that's what infuriates you. They treat the rookies and the young kids on the Diamondbacks like Brandon Pfaadt. Go back this year what he said about Brandon Pfaadt when he struggled earlier this year in that one inning. He just flat downright told everybody what Brandon Pfaadt's problem is. He needs to go down. Waldschmidt. You can go through the rank of young guys that Torey Lovullo comes out and says their deficiencies are and why they got to go down. And Marte, have you ever heard him say one bad thing about Marte other than, I was blindsided, I was devastated by a guy I think's my son doing this to me? Have you ever heard Torey Lovullo or anybody say anything bad about Marte? They don't, because Marte's soft. He can't handle it. Imagine this fan base when he comes back and struggles and he gets booed. How's he going to handle that, going out to second base and getting booed?
So, I mean, if the dude cries when somebody in Chicago is laying something out on him, I mean, that's why I said he's soft. He's sensitive, man. I mean, look, dude, man. And
they allow him to be sensitive, too. That's what's frustrating.
There are many players. I remember this situation with the Phoenix Suns, and it doesn't really correlate, but when you talk about the fans booing, there is a guy named Markieff Morris for the Phoenix Suns. Oh. And see, I was on his side on this, and the rest of the media was in the opposite direction. Markieff Morris said, "Look, I shouldn't have to raise my arms and get the crowd egging on to cheer for us. I mean, they're cheering more for the other teams. We hear more of the other teams cheering. Well, I shouldn't have to do this to get our fans up to cheer for us."
Right.
Do you know that local media, even people in my own office, I mean, they attack Markieff Morris for those comments. I said, dude, this dude didn't say anything sinister or bad. Right. I mean, look, he has to, what he doesn't understand is they're not going to cheer for you because the Suns were in that big old long losing drought.
Right.
And so they're not going to cheer for you unless you win. I said, I've heard Charles Barkley say more insulting things to fans, and they still cheer him. I've heard who's the big first baseman for the Philadelphia? He's really the right fielder. Harper.
The Harper, yeah, Bryce Harper.
I've heard him lash out at Phillies fans a lot more harshly than this, and yet you know that Lon Babby, he was the executive on the Suns. He had Markieff Morris and Marcus Morris greet the Suns fans and sign autographs before the game as a way of a mea culpa. Say, I apologize. I'm like, apologize for what?
Right.
I mean, and so people were getting on me for, back. I'm like, dude, stop it. Now, I would applaud the fans here if they booed Ketel Marte.
There will be a faction that does it.
I would applaud.
There will be a bunch though that Marte can do no wrong, and I don't get it. I don't get why. I don't get why he has that backing when, I mean, I want Marte here and play baseball as much as anybody. He's one of the best second basemen in baseball. It's the other stuff that drives me nuts. And then just the capitulation of it drives me even more nuts. Like, Torey literally was sitting there, I could only imagine being, Torey's kids out there. Like, what kind of things could they have gotten away with if he's just such a capitulator like that and stuff, Like when your kids misbehave, right? You talk to them, you guide them, and if you have to, you punish them if they get too bad, right? No PS5, no video games, no car for the weekend. You're grounded, whatever. And where's the punishment for Marte? What, he missed 3 game checks, maybe, or 3 days of checks, maybe, on the restricted list. And everything, but where's the punishment being? And you're just going to bring him back, and then you make those statements publicly, telling everybody, we're not doing anything. He's just going to come back. He'll apologize to his team when he wants to.
Yeah. Hey,
what?
Look. I can name you just some big stars from the Diamondbacks over their years: Luis Gonzalez, Matt Williams, Randy Johnson.
Matt Williams probably would have fought Marte by now.
Mark Gray. Look. They all showed up. I can tell you guys, like, I've never seen a situation, I'm telling you, in my 34 years, where a guy just didn't show up like this. Mm-hmm. I mean, there have been some people who I can think of situations that were really serious. I can remember a situation with the Chicago Bears where a guy was in some mental issue, and he was like maybe contemplating suicide and stuff. So when you have an issue like that,
right,
then you understand. But you just don't not show up.
But then they said it was a personal issue. Then he was injured. Then it was a personal issue. Then it was, oh no, his knee's bothering him. Oh no, he had a personal issue too. But it's like, what is
what? And again, Coop, without calling or texting is acceptable
you
now.
You talked about communication earlier. Yeah. I agree with you.
And again, I always try to give all these people who are on his side, who are everyday working Joes. You didn't show up to Channel 12 at 2 o'clock when everybody's supposed to show up, and you didn't call or text somebody. You would either be suspended for a week and say if it ever happens again, you're done.
Unless you have an absolute great. I was in a car accident. My phone was damaged. I couldn't get a hold of you. I got a hold of you as quickly as I could.
Right, and you've been through some stuff.
Sure,
but communicate.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be there. Okay, well, can you tell us why? No, I don't know what that conversation would be. But here's the other thing, Coop, and I will stick to this forever. I believe Troy Lavello last year after the All-Star break stuck his neck out big time in the clubhouse for Cattell and said, "Hey, we need this guy to win. He's an integral part of our team. I vouch for him. There's a one-off. He's never going to do it again." And I can only imagine in your line of work that at some point you did that for somebody. You stood up on a chair or whatever and said, "Hey, this guy, give him a chance. I promise you he's going to be good or okay, whatever." And if that guy betrays you, man, you ain't getting a second chance with me after that, because that's your third chance.
Dale, I've had people come to me and ask if they could list me as a reference for a job that they're taking.
Right.
I give my references to those people I believe in. But if they let me down in that way, man, I'm hurt.
Right.
I'm hurt.
Yes.
I mean, there's just no getting by. I mean, the guy, I would never stick my neck out for him ever again. Well,
but he's doing it now. He's doing it for Tuesday.
If what you said is true about Torrey sticking his neck out last year, like Steve said, he's doing it again.
He did it yesterday. We are a week from yesterday was a week from the situation happening. And Torrey's still making an excuse for him. Oh, we're going to get a soft landing for him. What you got to do? I know what the locker room feels about. He's got to go in there and he's got to apologize to him on his time. We can't force him to do it. You absolutely can't. Marte, you're not going to come back to this team until your teammates are comfortable with you playing with them. And that means you have to go apologize to him sooner than later.
Yeah, I'll put
and you're not coming back off the restricted list until you at least do that. That's how you do that stuff.
He's the man. He just said what I was going to say. I would say, oh, you can't make him do. I say, okay, as long as you're going to stay away from the team and not address this team, you will remain on this restrictive list. Okay. But like I said before, I would never let it got to that because he's gone.
Yeah.
My other side of it is that I sit here and think is part of me thinks the Diamondbacks, by sending him back from Boston early with the guise of his MRI. And you knew he was going to go on the IL for the MRI. Most of me believe the Diamondbacks are like, you need to just be away from this team for a while. Nobody wants to see you.
But here's in the meantime, all it's done is continue to build and build and build.
And that's the problem is what that's done is that's allowed Marte to say, I can go casino. I can do everything I want to do, not address this, not go on with it. So they capitulated it on that side. And things and then all it's doing, Coop, is next Monday he comes off the IL so he can play. I think Tuesday's his first day he can play, and all it's doing is it's setting at home against the Phillies. Yeah. You're setting yourself up for a giant. It's been a distraction all this time, and now you're setting yourself up for a distraction in a series against a team you're going to be playing. If you're not paying attention to that side of it as a Diamondbacks organization, we can no longer help you guys with your stupidity.
Yeah, well, how weak is the Diamondbacks front office? I mean, from this standpoint, when you say they took him off the restricted list and put him on the injured reserve, now they had to pay him on the injured reserve. Yep. They didn't have to pay him on the restricted list. I mean, look, I don't know why they bend over backwards for this man. It's unprecedented. I just don't get it.
I have a feeling, and I'm just guessing. I have a feeling it's to avoid, a lot of me use the term lawsuits, but avoid a fight with the PA and
but the
and stuff like that.
The PA has no ground.
Coop, I'm trying to find a reason why these weasels in the Diamondbacks front office can't do anything.
And you're getting me angry just coming up with that kind of stuff. I mean, the PA has, look, this dude said F you to his teammates.
And
he
Derek,
didn't show up
and Derek Hall, Ken Kendrick, and the manager don't give a damn that he did that. Right. That's the problem with it, Coop.
But why? What ammunition would the Players Association have to even file a suit against me on that?
Yeah, that's what just makes me angry.
All right.
Fake something up with him and all that stuff. I'll even go a step farther here on my problems with Torey Lovello and things to that stuff. Did you guys see what happened last night?
Well, he lost.
You mean the stealing signs?
The disagreement side. Play this Cubs Diamondbacks disagreement from the broadcast last night. Here, just notice who's involved with this conversation.
And Brian Kaplan is screaming at Lance Barrett, the plate umpire, as is Jeff Banner. Dugouts here, they are screaming at each other.
You can hear those F-bombs, by the way. That's why he had to edit it out.
Nope, don't do that. Nah.
Cubs manager's right there to the left, yelling, if you saw his throat muscles.
Any idea what that's about?
Okay, as they go to the explanation and they go back to it. So that's Greg Counsell. He was just yelling too. Who's that? Yes. Who the other guy was there? Where's Torey at in this conversation? Where's Torey at dealing with this? Why are you getting the fire from your bench coach and your hitting coach and your pitching coach? I mean, why are you getting the fire from them? At least Greg Counsell was next to him. He wasn't the main guy yelling back, but he was yelling back and stuff. They're yelling dugout to dugout. Where's your manager at in that situation?
Well, you know, I don't know that. What did Torey address the issue post game?
He did, but he didn't address it.
And the cameras weren't on him.
He didn't. He walked out. He walked out after it all settled down. He walked out there to settle down Marte, and he was all calm, collective. If you're fired up, you're walking out and you're turning your head to that third base coach and you're F-bombing him for stealing signs and all that stuff as you're walking to the mound. He's just calm and cool.
Well, let's put it like this. I saw the Cubs, because I watched the game last night. I saw the Cubs third base coach yelling into the Diamondbacks dugout. Yeah. Well, we don't know who he was yelling at.
Well, I saw Merrill Kelly yelling at him.
Well, but because they kept the camera ISO on the third base coach.
But it was all Bannister. It was all Bannister and the other guy.
But see, I don't know that Torey's not. So I can't say anything because I don't know that Torey's not yelling back at him.
I can tell you this: if Torey was yelling, the camera would have been on him. It was Bannister at the time. Every time there's a motion needed in that bench side, it's Bannister doing it. It's the bottom line. It's happened all year long. It's happened last year and stuff to that. It just goes to just like, and I get it. Sometimes you let other guys handle that stuff. I understand that side of it. But it just goes to with everything else going on. You just sit there and you just go,
okay,
where's it at?
I'm making an executive decision. We need to move on to something different. And we got Cardinal football. We got Bruce's solution to the college game to where you could go now play in the NFL and come back and play in college. And
Coop, all this means is Dale is a defender of the Diamondbacks and the way they operate.
I love the way they handle things. Let's move on because guess what? Next Tuesday, Coop will be in here. And we may or may not be talking about Ketel Marte being in the starting lineup.
As we go to break in a wild card standings, throw it up there for me, Ethan, as we go to break here and everything. And, of course, we'll move on to Cardinals talk here and lots to talk there as well. But 2 games out. Got lucky yesterday.
They did.
Phillies and Padres who went down there and that stuff. And then as we go to break also, here's Kelly on the situation in terms of the thing. Just play a minute of this real fast, Ethan. Just to see some fiery from a guy on the Diamondbacks team.
What's happening with the third base coach? We just thought he was relaying signs. We thought he had something on my changeup. We thought he was giving, especially the lefties. Every time I was throwing a changeup, we felt like he was relaying that.
Is that something that you've experienced before?
I mean, that's stealing signs is as old as baseball. I think it's a little bullshit when it comes from a coach. I think, if it's a guy on second base and they see the grip in your glove, or if the hitters can see something that you're doing with your glove, I think that's fair game. I think guys have been doing that since the beginning of baseball. I think it's a little bush league when it comes from outside that. I think inside the lines is one thing. I think the guys that are standing outside the lines, I think it's a little bush league. That
I find it interesting he's making that distinction. Because for the longest time, people in dugouts have been stealing signs and picking up on stuff with video and stuff like that. I find it interesting he's making that distinction there, Coop.
Yeah, look, I don't agree with the Diamondbacks in this. I mean, if a coach can pick up on it, hey, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. You know, it's almost like that deal I get into a big argument with baseball fans and even people, media, you know, when let's say you're in the 7th inning of a no-hitter and someone tries to lay down a bunt.
Rules.
Oh, so no, dude. I'm not trying to let this guy A, win a game, or B, have his put us down as a asterisk next to his no-hitter. No, I'm trying to break that up, and I'll break it up any way, shape, or form I can. And if the coach can pick up on something that Merrill Kelly is tipping, hey, I'm all for him.
I actually like the way that certain Diamondbacks coaches and even Merrill Kelly handled this situation. You catch somebody cheating like that or stealing the signs. I like the way they fought back. I really do. It just goes to my bigger point.
Well,
they can fight back. Look. You can not like it, but and you can bark all you want
because the Diamondbacks are doing the same thing.
Keep tipping your pitches, and I'm going to keep relaying them to
maybe
that's the garbage I'm talking
at the end of the day, that tells you why Merrill Kelly might have been struggling all year because people have picked up.
Yeah, that's
pitches
it. There were some rumors of that a while ago.
Yeah. So anyway,
Brandon Pfaadt today, 6:40 p.m. on the mound for your Cubs. This is a dangerous situation because the Cubs are a dangerous team. You saw that last night. Diamondbacks stayed in this game until the Cubs decided to make it, blow it out open and stuff.
They took advantage of the Diamondbacks bullpen. Yeah. I mean, look, last game that Brandon Pfaadt had this scoreless inning streak that was stretched into the 30s. You know, and then as his last start against the Red Sox, he gives up 2 solo home runs. But now he's settled down. He has 2 on and 2 out in the 6th inning. He gets out of that. The game remains. I believe it was 2-1 at that time, Red Sox. It remains 2-1. But he gave up, I think it was 2-2, matter of fact. Yeah. It was 2-2. So he gives up a 3-run home run. So he gave up 3 home runs in that game and 5 earned runs. Mm-hmm. And so I hope he cannot allow that to carry over. I'd like to see that Brandon Pfaadt that had this spectacular scoreless inning streak going, but the Red Sox certainly got to him in Boston his last start.
And the Cubs hitters are more dangerous than the Red Sox one. They're going up against Clay Holmes today, and this kind of cracks me up. Clay Holmes is 5-6 on the season. So you go, he's not very good, right? He's average. He's got a 2.49 ERA at 5-6.
Yeah. They're not giving him much run support.
He's losing because he's losing because he's not giving up too many runs, and they're not getting the run support when he's out there. So that is a deceiving thing coming up today as well. When we come back, let's get into it. Lots of Cardinals talk out there, and I don't know if Coop, you might have heard Coop dancing yesterday a little bit because of a certain Cardinal move yesterday. Oh. I'm not talking Josh Sweat, folks. Come on back. It's the main event. And we're back here with the legend, Bruce Cooper.
Wait a second. Where the heck did Dale Hellestrae go?
He got so mad at Ketel Marte's take and how much he defends Torey Lovello and the Diamondbacks organization. He got mad and he left. He has to go. He's walking outside back and forth, steaming down.
Should we consider him a no-show or just a protest?
Yeah. It was funny, though. Last week, Coop, after you were in here on Tuesday, Dale had to miss Wednesday for a private matter. He texted me at 1:49 in the morning, 1:29 in the morning, saying he wasn't going to be in and why he wasn't going to be in. So Dale was able to do it, make the text. It was pretty easy.
What's Dale doing up at 1:30 in the morning?
Well, his wife wasn't feeling well, so he was working. He was helping her and stuff like that. But the point is he was able to send something.
Yeah, at
1:29,
So the rumors about Dale being a good husband might actually have some merit to it.
I'll say, well, so something's come through in 38 years, Coop. I'm not saying it's all been perfect.
Robert says, I love her riled up Coop. I know. Sometimes I get a little nervous. I'm like, is Coop going to hit me? Is Coop going to attack me right now?
Well, Coop, before we get into the Cardinals, which there's plenty to talk about there, any just initial thoughts, overreaching thoughts on these guys who are now getting cut from NFL teams? What?
Going back to high school, I have an update for everybody. Breaking news. No, I'm going to go back to high school. Tonopah Valley has canceled the game against SCA on Friday.
Oh boy!
Yep, I got that text here while we were talking Diamondback. So want to get that out, everybody. So it is officially canceled.
And Dale now is really he's highly perturbed because now his Scottsdale Christian Eagles, they are only going to play an 8-game regular season
unless they can find one.
And he doesn't know if they'll have enough PowerPoints to qualify.
Well, eight's the minimum. Eight's the minimum. Anything less than 8 games, you don't qualify. So they're at that cusp now.
And supposedly the Friday night game was not a forfeit.
As of now,
so it does. So you get no PowerPoints for the team that was ready to play.
Yeah.
If the team, as of right now, I don't know if that's going to be revisited or how that's going to be handled.
It's going to be another one of those situations though where SCA is going to go in as like a 12 seed.
Well,
like they did that one year.
And it's probably too late to try and find someone.
Well, because there's no bye week. So Mike Sheehan, to his credit, because Glendale Prep canceled their season as well on their schedule. He's reached out and he said, we'll play 3A and we'll even go up to 4A to get a game in if we have to.
Oh, so they'll take a team that may have a bye
and 3A
because
and 4A.
2A has no bye, so everybody's scheduled. So if you have Tonopah Valley on your schedule, well, obviously you have them a different week, so you can't just match up with that team because they'll have them in a different week because they went to this no bye system. Last year was the first year of it, I believe, maybe the year before. So that's the problem with finding another team. There's no buys anymore, and so everybody's booked up, and bye weeks are different. And things like now that was for Glendale Prep that he did that. If you could find somebody to fill in this short of a time frame, even if there's somebody available, that's even harder than Glendale Prep that they've known about for a month.
Yeah, the team that, let's say they reached out to a 3A or 4A team that has a bye week. Well, their bye is important to them to get rest up. They don't want to give up that bye week and go.
That's another set. Well, if you're 4A though, that's going to be a glorified practice,
because now you're playing an 11-game schedule.
Yeah. That's the other side of
tough.
it. Yeah.
That's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough for them there as well. So, I got that text from, and then Richard Operts reported it as well.
Yeah, Saddle Mountain Unified School District came out and said safety and well-being of our student athletes remain the highest priorities. Last Friday afternoon, and then over the weekend, I consulted, and we understand that canceling a football game affects our students, families, coaches. However, the safety, because of this matter, involves an active investigation. Nevertheless, we will remain committed.
Well, that's the last game Tonopah cannot play.
Yes.
Unless they don't want to be considered for the playoffs.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But I can understand the Tonopah perspective. That's what I was saying earlier. I understand the Tonopah perspective. So at least now they've let
their opponents
know going forward. Like I understand Tonopah shut down. You have to. If it's that big of allegations, you have rules, you have regulations, you got to do that. But you're hurting not just those kids by delaying this decision. You're hurting other kids out there, and that's what I don't like about it.
And here's the deal. I don't know let's say I'm a senior on Tonopah.
Yeah. How mad would you be?
And they have taken away my final season. Let's say Tonopah decides to scrap its season.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what they did with Glendale Prep's kids. If they will allow immediate eligibility transferring, because I don't think they're going to give them their senior year back.
It doesn't get more hardship than that.
No.
Yeah.
You know.
Your program got canceled on you.
And it's not and you weren't involved in it. It's not your fault. But then again, it's kind of what you brought up here with the NFL kids getting cut from the NFL, and one kid going to an NFL team and his agent saying, "Hey, can you cut him now? You're going to cut him in a week. Why don't you cut him now? Because he's got to deal with LSU to go play." That happened last week, folks. But it's the same situation. How are you going to go to Tonopah Valley and take their kids in when you have a full roster already and they've been working hard all offseason to get ready for the season? You have the guys you can trust. It's going to be hard to integrate those kids if you could transfer them into it on top of it. So.
It would be. And about the I don't know if you want to talk about the NFL thing now or later, but I tell you, I have a major problem with that.
You do?
Yeah. Look, this dude signed a professional contract.
Uh-huh.
And he left early to do so.
Yeah, and so that's what makes it. See, like in the NBA, sometimes they allow you to go, and even in the NFL, they allow you to go and be tested and go to test route. And if you don't like it, you can come back. They give
you
you
don't
that,
like what you hear,
right? And you don't, yeah. And even in the NBA, they can go and they can participate in some of these camps. Like these. Skills champ, all these things like that, and you
just can't hire somebody.
Yeah, you can't hire an agent and stuff like that, and you can't sign a contract, so you can come back. This dude signed a professional freaking contract, so now he's in a professional freaking camp, and so now he's been playing against the elite of the elite, and now you're allowing him to go back and play as a that's almost like allowing a professional player to go back and play at an amateur, and I don't know if you can call it amateur anymore because they do get paid in college.
He's going to make more money going back to college to play at LSU than he is.
That's why he would want to do it.
Yeah.
That's why he wanted to do it.
That's legitimately one of the reasons. He wasn't going to make the team. He was going to get cut, but he's going to make more money at LSU.
And so he was in the NFL draft this past year, went undrafted. He can be now, if he's allowed to do this, he can be in the NFL draft an unprecedented second consecutive year.
Yeah.
And this time he can be drafted.
They allowed it in basketball last year. You saw a couple G League guys come back down and go into college and re-enroll in college and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so you make the argument, is the G League professional league?
You get paid.
Well, I tell you what, it's not. You're not playing against the elite of the elite.
No.
I mean, a lot of those high school kids are playing against.
It's a slippery slope, is all I'm saying on that side.
It is. But I think it's more egregious in this situation because this dude has already played collegiately. He's decided to enter the NFL draft. He got it. He expected to get drafted. He didn't. So he signed as an undrafted free agent. You hear what I said? He signed. He's a professional now. And so he's now in a camp with the elite of the elite. I mean, that's what it is.
Well, and you just said it. Would it be fair for Tonopah Valley players to be able to go to another school who's been through preseason camp and all that and take some starter? Well, now this guy's going to come back and he's going to take somebody's job.
Well, Ghost Rozier, was able to come back. He graduated and Ghost for ASU.
Rouser?
Rouser? Not Rozier. Yeah,
well,
Rouser. But he just signed today with Houston. So he's taking a spot with Houston, to go there and play that. Because they had somebody slated to start that position or play that position. He's going there to take it.
But it's still the same thing. I mean, if he was an undrafted free agent signed in an NFL camp, I'm not making an exception for him because he played at ASU. I mean, there has to be some hard-cut rules there. I mean,
the Big Ten today said that they're not going to allow it to happen in their conference.
Even though a federal judge has already...
I think...
See, the federal judge rule. That's how they can do it.
Was it federal or state?
No, it's federal.
Yeah.
But here's the situation though, is you just don't sign the guy. You just say no team can sign him, and then nobody signs him.
And then you can go down the collusion route or whatever.
Well, that's
but come
issue
on.
number 2.
I mean, to try and get one more. Coop, I got 1 year of eligibility left.
Let's do it.
I start feeling the blood boiling again.
Dale, You've already signed a NFL contract. You already won NFL Super Bowls, and you have the rings to show it. No, you're not eligible.
Could you imagine? I don't know how you put this genie back in the bottle. We're going to end up seeing college football is going to become what the UFL should have done. They're missing that boat where you're just going to be the minor league system, payment system. But go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say the college kids are making more money. You're going to start seeing a high, unless you're a top, 10, 15 draft pick, you're going to stay in college because you're going to make more money there.
So you just said the Big Ten is not allowing any such athlete to play in their conference. But yet we have already seen where the SEC is saying yes, and I guess even the Big 12 if Rouser's going to Houston.
Yep. Yeah, he signed with Houston.
I respect the
Big Ten is here's what Pete Thamel, Yahoo Sports reported as well. The Big Ten's to pass a rule that doesn't allow players to return from the NFL and play for a Big Ten school. Anyone who's declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster.
Absolutely. See, I respect that.
So they're restricting their membership from signing these guys.
Right.
Yeah, is
but
what they're
the
doing.
SEC and Big 12 obviously aren't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because his nickname's Ghost. I love him as a player too. He was just amazing.
Miles Ghost Rouser.
But and I was even like, man, he'd be a nice addition to that ASU defense when he comes back. But you've already seen it in basketball. It's more prevalent right now in football because the season's starting and they just passed this law and everything.
I don't think we've really seen that in basketball.
Oh yeah,
because
Pig Johnson wants to play basketball. He's able to come back and play basketball again.
Was he? Did he sign an NBA contract?
Not an NBA, but where are you going to cut that? European leagues though.
Well, I think the Euros do that all the time because they play in their own leagues that are professional, and yet they can come play collegiately because their professional league doesn't even come close to assimilating our professional league.
You just got to figure this out. Somebody's got to step in on this to break it down and not allow it to happen. And I don't know how you do it. I'm not smart enough to know how to do it. But it's bad for the sport. It's just bad for the sport.
It is. I don't like the way the NFL handled it. But in the case of the NBA, when you have a G League that isn't really a professional league, the elite of the elite, and you have colleges where you have the foreign players that may play for their country's professional leagues, and then they come in their amateur and collegiate. I mean, I have no problem with those.
Luka could have come and played college here for 4 years, and he was a professional since he was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
And he could have come and played 4 years of college here as a professional, right? The other side of it is to watch is, and this might be interesting, the SEC might now pass a rule on that, because, they didn't want to be the only one to do it. But now that the Big Tens did it, will the SEC jump on board? So something to watch. It might kind of clamp down a little bit here.
SEC's late to the party because they've already signed an agreement with this kid, right?
I don't know where that stands. It sounded like it.
No, he had a deal in place, whether he signed it or not. No, he had a deal. His agent called
Cleveland.
The head coach of LSU, I'm just forgetting his name, called the Cleveland head coach, and he didn't call him back. And over the weekend, he goes, well, now I know why he called me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, here's the deal. So if a federal judge ruled in the favor of these kids, then the NCAA and even these conferences, they don't really have a leg to stand on.
You just don't do it. You just say you guys aren't allowed to do it, and then nobody signed. It's kind of like the WNBA thing with Enes Kanter and stuff. Yeah, he can go in the draft. The problem is nobody's going to draft him, so he's not going to play in the league.
Enes needs to stop.
Well, that's a side. That's a side thing.
He needs to stop.
But the point was he can go in the WNBA draft, but nobody's going to draft him, so it's going to be a moot point regardless. That's I know the other side of it and stuff like that. But it'll be interesting to see. Yeah. But Ross Dellinger 2 hours ago says the Big 12 is also considering a league-wide policy banning pro players returning to the conference as well. So.
Wow! So this kid could sue each one of those conferences and then maybe make untold millions from each one because of collusion.
Yeah. So that is out there right now going forward. But let's get into our Cardinals talk here. Josh Sweat, that weird situation seems to have solved itself. He's back on the practice field yesterday.
Look, I'm kind of mystified by this whole thing. I mean, here it was based on what I have seen. The guy played his last game in week 17.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't participate in any mini camps, any of the training camps up to this. I mean, anything to do with the team. He was not there. So all you heard were rumors, and you began to believe those rumors that he wanted out.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted
to follow
traded.
Jonathan Gannon, maybe.
Yeah, and so what choice were you left but to believe that? I mean, they played 3 preseason games, have 1 remaining with joint practices in Green Bay against back, and now the dude shows up, and you're like, man, I don't know what I'm left to think.
Right.
Well, I said yesterday they're very candid with injuries, right? They come out and they say, here's the problem, here's what's going on, unlike the Gannon regime. Except for one player they weren't candid about, and it was Josh Sweat. Every time he was asked, he had some funny, coy response that I enjoyed, but they never talked about Josh Sweat. Other than restaurant he recommended a great restaurant at Arcadia yesterday. His spirits are high. He's working out, and nobody could prove it or anything to that effect.
Good.
And so that's what was weird about it. They're willing to talk about every other player except for one.
Why are you allowing him to work out independent of your team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why are you allowing him to be alienated from his teammates?
And then
coaches?
yesterday, he's back and he's on the practice field, no questions asked. And he had a big sleeve on. Did you see that? He had a big left leg sling. And they were very careful to say it's not injury related, which I found interesting as well. Like they went out of the way to kept saying it wasn't injury related.
His absence wasn't injury related?
Yeah.
Well, I told you last year, towards the back half of the year, I noticed a slight hitch in his giddy up. I still played.
I played a video, I think, on here where he obvious limp trying to run down a running back that was 5 yards downfield.
And he might have tweaked his ankle or something like that. But again, it's just so mystifying. Why does it always have to be our local teams?
I know.
Yeah,
Trauma.
I mean, look.
There he is, Coop. Right there he is. Yesterday, doing his warm up exercises. I got the video playing for Coop here. He looks healthy. Well, I mean, here's the bad thing. Watching the Cardinals, everybody's been focusing on this offense and how it's moved and things to that effect. But Saturday night, I'm sitting there against the Cowboys. I was forced to go to it by my family and all that stuff. It was a horrible experience, preseason football. But you're sitting there watching it, and the Cardinals have 0 pass rush. Now, a lot of guys were out, starters were out, etc. And is Josh Sweat going to bring enough pass rush to this team when he comes back?
Let me tell you something. Yeah, so you understand that Josh had a career high 12 sacks last year, but let me tell you something. There was some damn near 40-year-old dude named Calais Campbell who had 6.5 sacks, but gave you a lot of push inside. Matter of fact, Calais made big plays to win the few games the Cardinals did win early on. And so without him being a disruptive force in the middle, without him being that 6'8" guy that can put up the long arms to deflect passes and things like that. I mean, is Josh Sweat really getting the production that he got last year this year?
Right. Well,
I don't know.
Can the rookie, I'm forgetting his name now, defensive tackle, who's flashed.
Walter Nolan?
Yeah, he's flashed, but hurt most of last year.
And no.
Can he be a reasonable filler?
But he's on the inside. You don't have an outside.
No, what I'm saying,
Darius Robinson's the outside guy.
But
he's
if
done
you
nothing
look
this
at any
preseason.
great pass rusher, they have some guy in the middle who can push the pocket.
Sure.
So when he comes around the edge,
I have high hopes for Billings.
There's no place to step up.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Calais Campbell did, and I'm convinced the reason Calais Campbell left is because last year he was supposed to play about 40% of the snaps.
Yeah.
And he ended up playing 90.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, you brought that up. I mean, players with more sacks than Josh Sweat since 2024. The NFL researcher Twitter pipe put this out, including playoffs. I don't know, just small guys like Myles Garrett, Will Anderson Jr., Danielle Hunter, Nick Bonetto, Brian Burns, Micah Parsons, and Josh Sweat's in that list as well since 2024. That's pretty active. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's better than what they've had so far.
Yeah. Look, B.J. Ojulari has been a major disappointment. I mean, he flashed his rookie year, obviously missed all of last year with that ACL that he tore late in that his rookie campaign. And I mean, look, I've watched him. He's not flashing at all.
Coop, if you're a third, fourth, fifth year player who has this team made, you're not playing in the fourth quarter of the third and second preseason game.
Yeah. Hey, well, let me put it to you like this, and this is why. And I know the Cardinals had a lot of money, and they still do, and they maybe will spend more of that money next year. But
they have zero interest in adding to this defense this year.
I'm telling you, I would have fixed my offense in free agency and the draft, which for the most part the Cardinals did. But I would have spent. I think that it all starts up front on the defense.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys I'd have brought back Calais Campbell, and I would have.
They wanted to. He left on his own.
Yeah, and I would have signed another former kid, Cameron Jordan, whom the New Orleans Saints have had. Now Jordan, he has over 100 career sacks. Now, I know they're both long in the tooth, but they buy me a year.
He had a good year last year. Jordan had a good year last year.
Did. They buy me a year because now I'm bringing Josh with Cameron Jordan, Calais Campbell, and Josh Sweat.
Right.
I have now made my front a hell of a lot better, but it buys me a year for when 27.
Yeah.
I can fortify the defense now, concentrate through the draft.
I just think that this Josh Sweat situation, the way he came off of the pup, it tells me they had a deal with him for whatever reason. It could be he didn't want to play with it. They had a deal with Josh Sweat where you don't need to participate in training camp. You're going to come off a week before the last preseason game.
Why would you make such a deal? Again,
they made the deal.
Again, there are 52, and I know there's 90 in training camp here, but
because he was upset, and so that's your capitulation.
Forget that.
Hey, they usually pay him to come back.
Like making excuses for Cattell Martin. There's 25 other players on the team. No,
but the other alternative was, hey, what's it going to take for you to come back? Another $500,000 for the season, another $1 million for the season. We'll renegotiate with you.
He's going to have to hold out and publicly make this deal.
That's why that tells me there's a deal, is because he was awfully quiet in this situation, which means there was a conversation of he didn't want to be here.
Well,
and the Cardinals were like, we're not getting rid of you. How about we just sit out all training camp till the last week? And then I
remember, and I know the circumstances are different, but it's the same thing. I'm giving you a difference between organizations. I mean, there was a kid named Le'Veon Bell who was playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was not happy with the money that the Steelers were offering, so he was going to hold out. And Steelers said, okay, we're going to franchise tag you. Stay as long as you want. Stay as long as you want. We can control your rights. Stay along. And pretty soon, here comes Le'Veon and his agent knocking at the door, and they get in. Yeah. So the Steelers did it a second year. So there's a rule in the NFL where you can't do it 3 years in a row. That's when he left for the Jets, and he was never the same player.
No.
Well, then that's the issue. I'm not saying anything devious. It was the Josh Sweat situation was weird, but we've kind of got I've been saying all preseason here. I don't know who you're cutting on this wide receiver core. I'd be fine with any wide receiver that's in here, but
I got to keep 7.
It got a little easier yesterday when they have to put Xavier Worthy on the IR yesterday because
Xavier Weaver.
I'm sorry, Weaver, not Worthy.
Well, Weaver was never going to make my final 53. He just wasn't.
But he was a veteran, and he probably would have been better on the special teams.
When he was at Colorado, he was like a 4.30 40 guy. He was he's been the fastest player on the Cardinals team the last 2 years. But again, he doesn't really get a lot of reps. He's been injury prone.
Coop, last year in a big game, Drew Penzing drew up a play to throw the ball to him to win the game, and he dropped it.
Yeah.
And then that was the one where Gannon goes, I'll call that play every time. Everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
So, what?
Xavier Weaver was never making my final 53. Now, here's the deal. I know the Cardinals went and signed Devin Duvernay, who is a veteran and an accomplished return specialist. Now, the Cardinals are in need of a return specialist, but he also is a wide receiver. But the Cardinals traditionally have kept 6 receivers. But that means that you got to either cut Simi Fehoko
But no.
or Jalen Brooks
No.
or the rookie Reggie Virgil.
Yeah.
One of those have to. One of those three is you can only keep two.
Yeah.
One of those three have to go because you're counting Duvernay as one of your receivers, and that's where I've been struggling. When I said I might keep 7, but if you keep 7, that means you got to cut someone somewhere else, and I might be willing to do that.
Well, 5, 6, 7, at least 6 and 7 have to be daredevil special teams players.
Well, look, Fehoko has been a special teams player, and I'm telling you, Jalen Brooks he's just popped on the screen.
Yes, he
I
looks
was
special.
like, dude.
I'll tell you,
he got buried in Dallas.
the other day he looked really good. The first time I seen him in person, he looked good.
Yeah,
he's getting open.
And then Reggie Virgil is one of those guys. I watched him at Texas Tech. I mean, he is definitely a talented guy. Now, keep in mind, I didn't draft Reggie Virgil because I like a kid named Ted Hurst a lot better, who the Tampa Bay Buccaneers took in the 3rd round. But that's neither here nor there. Reggie Virgil is a player that I'm not willing to give up on right now. So, I mean, but that's a tough situation. The Cardinals might have. I mean, if you had to keep 2 of those 3, Reggie Virgil, Jalen Brooks, or Simi Fehoko, which let's put it like this: which one goes?
That's it.
Well,
have choices.
It'd be easier to say, okay, Fahuku, I don't even have him in that conversation. I think it's 2 for 1 spot. And Fahuku's not in that.
No, well, there's 2 spots because keep.
But I'm saying he's taking 1.
He's saying he's getting 1.
No, he's not even in a conversation of are we going to expose him to waivers or practice squad
okay.
No, but the other 2.
Okay.
Again, to me, it's going to come down to is one of them on all 4 special teams? Kickoff, return, punt, return. If one of them is and one of them isn't, that's a deciding factor for me. Because you got to do more. Well, when you're 6 and 7, you got to do more than just catch the occasional ball.
Now, let me ask you: can you invent an injury and put them on injured reserve, and knowing that in 4 weeks? You have to. I think you have to make some type of. No, you can designate. You can designate 2 to return. So let's say I put.
Well, you can designate as many as you want, but only 2 can return.
Yeah, only 2 can return.
Yeah, so you can have 6 players that you designate.
So let's say, and the problem is, the Cardinals don't have any other return specialists. So let's say Devin Duvernay got hurt anyway. Who is their backup return specialist?
Love.
No, Jeremiah Love ain't doing that. I'm not. You can kiss that. You can kiss that idea goodbye.
The other thing, well, let me ask you this: Trey Benson waived yesterday. I thought it was coming this year. He wasn't going to make this team. Injured.
I'd already long got rid of him.
Yeah, so he's on that. So that's one that tells you their running back room got a little bit easier, and question marks gone there.
Running back room's easy. They're keeping 4.
I'm just saying the question marks.
And we already know which 4 those are.
Exactly.
To me, it's not even a question. You have Jeremiah Love, you have Tyler Algier, James Conner, and Bam Knight. Move on. Those are 4.
Coop, I go back to my career and the thing that when you're talking about how precious teams look at roster spots, especially game day roster spots. The reason I stuck around my last 5 years is I knew I could get them through a game at guard or tackle if somebody went down. Now, if someone's down for a month, I ain't your guy. But I'll get you through the second half of a game if somebody gets hurt. But they could dress me as the 7th offensive lineman and the snapper, which allowed them to now bring another defensive back on the active roster or another wide receiver on the active roster because all NFL teams dress 8. And you don't think that's that big a deal, but to NFL teams, that's like liquid gold to them. So that's why I continue to hammer special teams. If I can dress you as my 5th wide receiver, and you're this.
Well, let's put it to you like this. Let's say I know Bam Knight has returned kicks. I don't know what he's like as a punt returner, but let's say that I made him my primary specialist, and I can get rid of Devin Duvernay, who I believe is like 30, 31 years old anyway, but he's just been an accomplished return specialist throughout his career.
Right.
and maybe I can then I could keep the other all three of those guys. But Duvernay, he has a specialty, and he's been darn good at it. And so, hey, it is what it is.
My last thing on the Cardinals here before we wrap up is this. I came to this conclusion on Saturday night watching Slovis play, watching Gardner Minshew play in that game. If I was the Cardinals, I'd be picking up the phone for Gardner Minshew for anybody that wants him. My quarterback room as of right now is Brissett, Carson Beck, and Slovis is your third quarterback.
Are you high?
Yes.
Come on, Steve.
That's my deal.
Steve.
That's the move I would make right now. All Gardner Minshew's going to do is muddy up the works for us to get to Carson Beck when the season goes sideways for this team.
Oh, so because you're a Carson Beck fan, I see what you're doing. Okay.
So I'm just removing the added step out of there. But he didn't look. Did he look spectacular on Saturday night against the backup defense and everything? No. And you know what you have? Brissett and Gardner Minshew are the same players. You know what you got.
No.
Unload one of those two, and it's not going to be Brissett. If somebody calls, unload him. 6th-round draft pick, 7th-round draft pick, 5th if he plays a lot. There's going to be somebody calling for him. I'd make that move, and that's my quarterback room right now.
I see. So you're all about getting Carson Beck on the field.
Getting
that's why you are diluting the competition by.
I'm watching Gardner Minshew on Saturday night, going, you know what? He's just like Brissett. We know he'll win you a game or two, but you don't want him starting 7 games. That's what Brissett is. Why is one of those? They're basically the same player. Unload the $7 million contract to somebody that needs him. Get an extra capital in the draft room and get us the way to Carson Beck easier. That's the conclusion I came to. And Slovis, I think, has earned a spot on this team as a third quarterback. He looks good out there.
Slovis will be a practice squatter.
That's what I mean. So that's what the third string quarterback is. And I think it's beautiful. How are you going to get Carson Beck reps and stuff like that and give him a fair chance when you have Minshew?
That's why he's cutting Minshew.
And Brissett.
So he can
I'm not cutting him. I'm trading him.
Well, same address.
Yeah,
so
that's the conclusion I've come
to. So I get it. So you're not high. I get it.
And so that's my last time. I got some weird reactions when I published that on Saturday, but it's just Gardner Minshew's Brissett, and we already have one of those guys.
The Cardinals. I mean, look, he led them to 2 touchdown drives. Yeah. He even threw a touchdown pass.
I love Gardner Minshew, by the way.
But the Cardinals just kept shooting themselves in the foot, so they had penalties that took them out.
I like Gardner Minshew. I would even argue Gardner Minshew or Brissett, but you're not getting rid of Brissett after the contract deal and stuff like that. And everything like that. So that's just the conclusion I came. That's the move I'd make.
Now, see, I'm the total opposite. I'm going Brissett with Minshew as a backup, and Carson Beck may or may not play. The only way he plays is if the season goes sideways.
That's my point. So you're 1-6 or 0-6 to start the season. What are you gonna do? Go to Minshew? That's not an improvement.
No,
over Brissett. I like them both, but that's not an improvement over Brissett. So you might as well turn it over to the young kid and see what Beck has and get us all excited. I tell you what,
Minshew gives me more mobility than Brissett. Yeah. But
that's all I'm saying. Look, that's what I would do.
They can still do that. They can still do that with Minshew on the roster if they're 1-6.
Yeah,
and then they go, you know what? We're benching Brissett. We're bringing in Minshew. To me, that then we talk about that's kind of a stupid because you already
played the same move. That's my point. It's the same move.
Here's the deal. They're not being bankrupt by keeping all 3. So you can still keep all 3. But, and if the season goes sideways, you can just still say, Gardner, we want to see what.
But that's the other side of it,
and back and just play him.
But that's the other side of it. Slovis has shown me enough that he probably can be groomed a little bit more. So I'm comfortable him being the 3. If you get to your 3 regardless, you're in a terrible situation anyway. But it gives him an opportunity to be practice squad, get more reps, improve his game. I'm comfortable in him in that spot more than I am Carson Beck in that spot.
NFL trading deadline is November 10th.
Yeah.
So,
but some team's going to be calling because they're going to need a quarterback coming up here, and they're going to be calling, going, "Hey, give us our experienced guy. Let's do it."
All right.
The playoff team.
Right.
Coop, when we come back next week, Ketel Marte in the Diamondbacks lineup on Tuesday when I see you next week.
Well, boy, I tell you what, the only way that he's going to quiet the noise is the same way that only Deshaun Watson can quiet the nose in Cleveland.
Stop talking.
They have to produce. If Marte gets on this one of his streaks where he's carrying the team, all is forgiven. If Deshaun Watson looks like that dude that was in Houston with the Texans, all is forgiven.
That's why I said if I was the Diamondbacks, I would hold Marte out for the Philly series, bring him back on the road against the Astros, because that at least gives him a chance to get a couple good games under his belt before he comes back home. Then you got the Royals before you come back home against the Rangers and Marlins. It gives an opportunity because it'll be easier for the fan base to warm up to him if he has a couple great games on the road. Yeah. But you're bringing him back against the Phillies in a playoff chase. Holy distraction.
Well, the Phillies don't actually have a rotation of Cy Young Award winners, but I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, he's going to come back to some mixed reaction. He's not going to get that mixed reaction in
give him a chance to have a couple good games and the fan base prepare themselves for him coming back against the Rangers. That's how I would do it. But they're insisting on bringing him back against the Phillies.
He's making sense, Coop.
He is. I
mean, he better get off the air before he
says something
stupid.
We're done.
Like George Seinfeld. I'm out.
Coop, we'll see you next week. For everybody else, Dale Hellestrae's off for us for the week. He's going to have fun with my buddy Howie Long. Everything. What? I expect an autograph, but I'm not. I'm just saying. Just expect an autograph.
Hey, Howie, as we're having a drink, hey, would you mind signing?
No, what you need to do is be like, hey, when we get back to Phoenix, man, let's get together. I'll buy dinner, Dale. My partner would love to meet you, and can we get to dinner and everything? He's not creepy. He's might be creepy with you, but he's normally not creepy.
Steak 44.
I'll buy.
I'm getting tired of steak 44. Right? If I do that, I got another one coming.
And next week we got to talk ASU and U of A football. Their season's getting underway as well.
No starting quarterback yet.
It's coming this week.
I do believe that it's now. I have to change up. I do believe that they're going to lean more towards Cutter Bowling.
Yeah, I believe they've let that.
I was a Mikey King guy all up until this time, but I think the fact that he's shown an ability to run that little read option, put the ball down and run it. I think
the way he throws.
Look, he throws well, but I mean, he has a proclivity to find the other jersey.
Yeah.
And Mikey King does. So.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing. So that'll be official this week, but I agree with you. It's going that route.
Morgan State.
Yeah, next Saturday we'll break down. Dale will break down. He's going to be in Las Vegas at this Raiders deal, and he's going to get bored, and he's going to start breaking down Morgan State for us next week, folks. So come and join us out there as well. But I'll get you going tomorrow. Mike Sheehan's supposed to join us tomorrow, even though he has no game this week coming up. And then, of course, Uncle Lou on Thursday as well. So come on, folks. Come and join me. The main event.